Driving Empire has just announced a ton of huge updates coming to the game, but before I go over them, make sure to subscribe and drop a like in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, basically, the devs of Driving Empire went over a ton of big updates that are coming out, and let's start with our first one they went over being stickers and decals. This was a pretty big one. They actually gave us a video showcasing this feature working in progress already, so it's not confirmed yet. I mean, technically they did show it, but I don't know if they can technically add it to the game yet, because they plan on obviously going and asking every licensed car brand, which is a lot of brands here, as you can see. They gotta ask a lot of those brands for permission for every single sticker or decal that you would want to put on your car. So basically, it's gonna end up taking a while for them to get permission from all these brands to allow them to have these stickers placed on their cars. And the car I'm in right now is probably a good example of one of the cars that just wouldn't be allowed to have it, because this thing already has its own livery, so you can't even change the paint color on this, let alone adding your own stickers. So some vehicles probably would be limited to this sticker and decal feature, but it's cool to see them adding stuff that literally players like me have suggested. Like, I think literally last week I made a video talking about liveries and stuff on cars, and here we are, and they've just announced they're actually releasing something just like that, which is really cool. So very amazing that the devs are able to do that with the stickers and liveries. Very cool feature. But let's kind of go over the next big update that they've announced. Now, this next big update kind of goes in hand with stickers and decals. It's very similar, and like I said, you know, it will be limited on some cars, but this next feature is animated wraps that they are thinking about adding. Pretty big update. I mean, animated wraps kind of changes the direction of the game, because I thought they were going for a more realistic approach with obviously these licensed cars, very high detail models. And you know, don't get me wrong, it's cool, you know, that they're trying other things out, but an animated wrap is interesting. It's an interesting change. This is the one I saw the most, you know, hate from people in the chat about when they were announcing these things. But they had a video for it, and it did look interesting, and I'm sure it would be kind of cool, but I just don't know how I feel about a moving galaxy wrap. I think it's a little bit childish, a little bit tacky, but the younger audiences will definitely like this feature, I guess. So, kind of an interesting one they went over. I don't personally love it, though. Next up, they discussed driving improvements, and to get a kind of idea of what types of changes they would have, their example was saying they want to have a mix of Forza and GTA. That's what they literally said. They're mixing those two styles of driving, I guess, those two types of games. So if you've ever played those, you would know how they drive, and that's what you could expect out of Driving Empire. I mean, not much more to be said for that. They just want driving improvements. And I don't really know how to explain it and showcase it to you all without literally going in GTA and Forza, which I don't really have on this computer right here currently. I mean, I got Forza, but I don't got GTA to show you all, but yeah, I don't really know, honestly. I think, though, we can expect, obviously, maybe more realism with driving, maybe, you know, more unique active suspension, I guess. That's one of the things I could think of, maybe rebalanced accelerations and speeds. Those are kind of some of the changes I could think of them maybe doing. But yeah, that's kind of what you could expect for this next big update. Alright, now next up was something they called the props update, and it's actually a really cool update they have in mind, and it should be pretty simple for them to get implemented into the game sooner than these other things we're looking at, because they basically want to make it so you can place props around in a server. Now, I'm not sure if they would have it only visible to you or visible to everyone in the server if you're in public servers. Obviously, if you're in a private server and it's your server, it would make more sense that everyone could see it. But in a public server, it might get a bit annoying if people are just placing props everywhere. So, not sure that that's how it'll work. It might just be a private server only type of thing that you can do with the hammer in private servers to insert them. But basically, the props are literally just role-playable objects is what they call them, I think, and you can place them around, do unique things with them. It'll help with role plays, car meets, that type of stuff, basically, and maybe even creating your own little stunt parks for challenges, which could be really cool. I could see a lot of video ideas coming from that for myself, like making a little stunt park in this empty grass field right here, for example, with ramps, barriers, and an obstacle course. You can make obstacle courses potentially with these. So, you know, the props update, it might not seem like much, but when you really think about what you could do, there's so much potential with roleplay and challenges. This next update would relate to the new map that they're working on, and it's a police and fire station with police and fire jobs, potentially? I'm not sure, but I mean, you can see they showcased a new style police building and it looks like there might be a police helicopter or something on it. So that would obviously replace this old police station. They legit said this police station was outdated and not up to par with the game standards, so they're making a new one. And then a fire department is interesting, so I'm guessing obviously hypothetically that would be placed here. I honestly thought these buildings were coming this week to the game, but they're not. So the fire station will go here, but I don't know why they have spots on this map for them if they're made for the new map. I'm not quite sure. But they even have fire trucks showcased there, as you can see. And the fire trucks are what really interests me, because does that mean we're going to be getting a whole new type of vehicle, being fire trucks? And does that mean that jobs are coming along, like a police job and a firefighter job? I'm not sure if that confirms it or not, or if it's just like for the vision, you know, just having them there. But I mean, I'm not sure. Are those the official Driving Empire fire truck models? I don't know, to be honest. It would be pretty cool if they were, though, but pretty interesting update there they had in mind. And then the next kind of update they went over was kind of a big chunk of information all on one slide. So they talked about new UI user interface. Basically, that's like these buttons here. You obviously might have noticed they've been messing around with them lately, changing them back and forth to new, old, you know, different designs and stuff. They're testing new UI out. So this is a change that'll be implemented, I mean, fairly soon. They're already starting to do it. They're messing around with it. They've even talked about adding new buttons that'll affect new features with this new UI, which is why they're working on it. So, you know, new user interface changes. They've also talked about a radio revamp, which might be one of the new features. And in the radio revamp, they kind of let something slip out. I'll play the clip.
That's something we're really excited about.
And real music, by the way.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but there it is.
We can say it.
That basically confirms, I think, that they are getting licensed music, which is a game changer. I mean, right now, yes, we have these random Roblox songs, and you can put in random Roblox IDs, but it always has said more coming very soon. That's said that for years, so I don't know how soon they were thinking, but hey, now's the time this year, talking about a radio revamp, so potentially a radio button here, and licensed music in it. What types of songs are we getting? I don't know. Could it be like, you know, PG-13 songs that would be, you know, for an older audience target? Or is it more younger audience songs? I'm not sure. We'll see what type of music they get. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Then they're talking about mobile and console improvements. So potentially on mobile and console, I've seen a lot of people asking for manual mode. You can see how we can do manual right here. So potentially manual on mobile and console, and I know also they want the UI to flow better and perform better, the game overall, on mobile and console, so I think that's the type of improvements you could expect there. More vehicle types, potentially those fire trucks, potentially planes I saw people talking about, more helicopters, licensed helicopters, boats, that type of stuff. Could be interesting to see what they got planned for that. More customizations. Okay, I think that's kind of the visual stuff on your car, the liveries that we talked about originally. That's what they said that was, so we kind of already covered that. More driving camera angles, so they talked about maybe better first person. I heard talks about a chase camera, so maybe like a camera angle right here, maybe a hood camera view, maybe like I don't know, I think that might be all the camera angles, maybe a side camera angle. I'm not sure what they are thinking of, but more camera angles for driving. Game optimization, kind of just performance improvements, they always say that, and lighting improvements. They want more realistic stuff. They said they're going to look at older lighting examples of the game that looked better in their opinion, and potentially revert to something similar to those. Now for more updates, they had another slide full of interesting details. They talked about barn hunt events is a big one. I really liked that one. They said yes, they will have barn hunt events. They also talked about an anti-cheat system for race leaderboards. If you know anything about races, we can teleport to any of them, and they all have cheaters on the leaderboards. Well, where's the leaderboards at right now? Wow. Are they disabled? They might have even disabled them already because there's too many cheaters on the leaderboards. Let me try going to a normal race, but basically, there is a lot of cheaters on these leaderboards. If you look here, they're getting some absurd times. I mean, I'm not sure if these are cheats, but they could be, and I know the cheaters are getting crazy times out here, so their plan is to eliminate cheaters off those boards. Another one is improve supercharger and turbo sounds. So that'll be interesting to see what they come up with for those. I don't really use audio when making these videos in the game, but maybe I'll have to start using it if they really get these sounds sounding good. Then they talked about quest system being improved, that is this thing, and they said they want to do something Forza style, potentially like the festival playlist. So another update, I literally talked about them adding a festival playlist. I talked about it like a week ago, and now they are talking about replacing daily rewards with it. Another Forza type of thing they're considering adding is a class system. So in Forza, it's like S1, S2, and X class are some of the best classes, and basically think of it like grades, like A, B, C, D, school grades. A is the best, F is the worst, obviously. Think of it like that type of classes, and they would basically rank cars on performance, and it could help, you know, when racing with matchmaking, potentially putting you with a more fair opponent, and that's kind of how that would work. And then they've talked about, will customization for houses be added? Honestly, I think they are saying this is a maybe right now, but we'll have to see. So customization in houses could be interesting. I would definitely be curious to see how that would be done. But, you know, they said they kind of have more important things on the radar right now. Now, after the devs went over all these updates, they revealed a grand surprise for us, being licensed Lamborghini. Super amazing, you know, overall thing what the devs did there. I really love how the devs, you know, put together this whole presentation showing us, being open with the audience of their game about what's coming in the future, and then surprising us at the end with one of the most requested things, licensed Lamborghinis. People loved it. I mean, this might have been one of the greatest, you know, displays that they've put on for us before, you know, just showcasing all these updates they're gonna add, and then giving us one of the best licenses. And lastly, the last update they announced that could be coming in the future is even more licensed Lamborghinis. They did mention that this isn't all of them. I think they said they want to have more licensed Lamborghinis in the future, more licensed brands, more, you know, unique vehicles in the future, more types of vehicles. So they've announced that all. So that's basically the future plans for Driving Empire. Those are the big updates coming to the game. And I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribing, the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube thinks to like it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.